Hey everyone, this is Big Voiced Films with a second installment in what will be an ongoing series of film reviews, edition or movie edition reviews and movie recommendations. Today we have a release called The Magic Lantern, or actually Magic Lantern Cycle by Kenneth who's a director. It's by the BFI and it's on Blu Ray. BFI, that's, for those of you who don't know, is the British Film Institute, who has been putting out some pretty great Blu Rays and DVDs, of course. And I often blind buy BFI titles actually, just because they're pretty much always awesome quality. But I had a particular reason for buying this, and that is an interest of mine in censored films that have been subject to censorship, basically. Um, and so one of the main reasons for buying is that the Magic Lantern Cycle has the short called Scorpio Rising, which was subject to censorship back in 1964. This particular set has 2 discs. It has one Blu Ray disc, which features, I think, 10 films. The 10 films that make up or make out the Magic Lantern Cycle. And it has a bonus documentary on the Blu-ray disc, actually, about the paintings of Aleister Crowley, and it has a DVD disc with the documentary on Kenneth Anger. Something short about Kenneth Anger, for those of you who are not familiar with his work. He's an American director, and you can sort of call him the founding father, basically, or one of the founding fathers of underground filmmaking. To my knowledge, he only deals in short films, and some of his best known work is grouped together in the Magic Lantern Cycle. So that's a title, a collective title for all of his, or some of his more influential films, basically. He's perhaps known for being an openly gay film director back in a time when that was frowned upon, and he has often had gay themes or gay subplots in his shorts. What more can I tell you? He is said to have influenced a lot more well-known directors such as John Waters, Martin Scorsese, David Lynch, for example. Now, about this edition, it's basically mostly 16mm stuff, which I figure is his favorite way of making films, and I guess it has to do with economy too, budget reasons. And I figured I'd focus this review on, as I mentioned, Scorpio Rising, even though it has a lot of other films, and maybe I should mention a few of the others on here. That's a movie called Fireworks. For example, it has Inauguration of the Pleasure Dome. It has The Custom Car Commandos, Rabbit's Moon. It has pretty much, I think it has 2 or perhaps even more versions of the Rabbit's Moon. It has Lucifer Rising, among others. But I figured I'd focus on Scorpio Rising, because that is one of his more well-known films. It's actually featured in, for what it's worth, it's actually featured in 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die. which may be of interest. I mean, it's not a list I follow to and take to heart, but it's interesting that they feature it here since it's a pretty or somewhat obscure film at least. Um, the, the censorship bout with Scorpio Rising has a lot to do with it being, it was censored actually, and it was considered indecent basically, and it does have some shocking imagery. It has full frontal nudity. It has swastikas, and you see Hitler popping up everywhere. It has gay innuendo, religious imagery, and it juxtaposes religious imagery with, as I said, the gay innuendo. So for a 1964 release, I consider that pretty brave and probably pretty provocative too. Uh, Anyways, after being censored, it found its way into the California Supreme Court, who actually overruled the censorship decision and found it to be, I guess, protected by the First Amendment. So it was actually allowed to be released, and it had a pretty important. It played an important part in that, since thereby showing and hindering actually arbitrary seizings of films. Um, so that's an important thing that sort of came out of that decision, that ruling, if you will. So that's it about that. The film Scorpio Rising features a lot of pop music, and it's a motorcycle based movie basically, and so it has your Elvis songs, and I think it has some Shangri-Las and all of that stuff. So that's pretty cool, and it's basically, it doesn't really have a narrative. It's just has that. It bases itself on these songs and with the imagery around it. This set has a booklet, which I have here, about Kenneth Anger. It has its full color, and it has a lot of writing, really interesting stuff, and some articles by Kenneth Anger himself. And inside here you have the artwork and 2 discs. So that's basically it about this release. It's one of the great BFI releases, and I do recommend it. So that's the second installment in the Big Boys Films reviews. I'll see you next time. Bye.